All right. Hey, y'all. Welcome to Otaku Talk. I did it. Oh my God. I said hello. I can't believe I did that. Oh my God. I actually did it on cue. Look at me. Now I got to figure out what
Meanwhile,
music I want to play. Meanwhile,
we
what?
went through however, what was that? 10 minutes of us talking to each other. Neither
Mhm.
one of us realized I wasn't using my mic. I'm over
I
here with these
know. I always see. And then
headphones.
lately, I haven't been putting my mic close enough to my mouth and it like cuts in and out. So if I'm cutting in and out because I'm like doing this or a move back, let me
Mhm.
know because it like clips my voice when I'm. But then I don't want to be like, oh, Kinjaku. This is too close. So I'm trying to do better about it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
My problem is my speech does this when I get towards the end of my sentences.
yeah, I think it's
So
a
I
southern
need to,
thing.
yeah, I need to be right up on it or something.
Yeah. So I be cutting out. But if I start cutting out, let me know. This music is really upbeat. But that's okay. We'll just turn it down just a little bit. But Happy New Year's Eve. The older I get, I'm just like, it's a holiday. Mm, mm,
Same.
mm. Okay, good. So,
Same thing.
just kicking it because people be like, "Are you gonna do your show on?" Like, I'm like, I haven't. When's the last time you went out to like a club or any kind of dance, drink, lots of people atmosphere?
Oh, a couple months, maybe 2 months ago, one of my
Yeah.
friends was celebrating landing a client for my job.
Ooh, that's so
Yeah.
much. That's so like, I don't know, main character moment. Like you see that in
Right.
movies. I've never known anybody in real life who like, oh, I got a client. Let's go out for. That's just not a realm of corporate that I've existed in.
This was just a
So
big
that's
thing, just
weird.
because since I've been working there almost a year and a half at that point. Well, over a little bit over a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
We've always been like dying for this one company to work with us so we can be able to do a process quicker. And it's just been like an obvious thing that we should have been having. And he got hired onto that team. And within a couple months of being on the team, he landed what we've been like dying for. So it was like kind of that's the scale of it, you know?
Right. I should have tied my sleeves. But that's awesome. I mean, I haven't been in a while. Like, I really do have this desire to go out dancing, but like not to a regular club. Remember when we went to that Christmas ball that time? The
Christmas
toy
ball?
drive. It was like a toy drive.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
Now.
we
I
went
can't
to
remember what
that.
it was called, but I
I
remember
don't
that.
remember
Yeah.
what the actual, but yeah, I do want to go out and just dance one night, but I don't be wanting all the stuff that comes with that. So that's my problem. Trying to figure out how to make that happen. I don't want to go to just like a club, you know.
Yeah, I feel you, because
And-
I'm not that person anymore either. To be honest with
yeah,
you, before that was like maybe 2 years ago or a year and a half ago. Before
yeah.
that, it
Was it a
was like
club?
it was in Miami for my friend's
Yeah.
bachelor weekend,
See that now? That's a
and that
good.
was a movie. That was
Yeah,
a movie.
that's what I'm saying. Like, if it's not gonna be like a movie or like something like
hmm
that or a ball or something like that, I'm not really interested in it. I
Just
don't want
going out on a
to.
Wednesday night,
To be groped
Thursday night.
on and like hit on and walk on piss floors in the bathroom.
Ooh, say that
I'm too
again.
old for that.
I just saw your
I just
name. Not culling enthusiast.
I am.
You will not.
You know, we gonna get into it.
We
So
will.
with that being said, Jujutsu Kaisen season finale dropped, which I can't believe we're here already. It feels like we were just like starting the season, but we've been through so much. The finale came out, and there are lots of things to be said about the finale. And so, we always start off with our first impressions of it, like and you've read the manga, but seeing it is always different. So even still, like, what was your impression of it, seeing it animated? Do you think they did a good job with like animating it as far as how it compared to the manga? Like, did they add more to it?
They definitely, it wasn't on the scale of like the entirety, because like going back and reading some of the more recent episodes, because like I haven't been reading the manga, but it's been in spurts. Like I'll have like a period of time where I just zoom through 40 chapters and then stop for like 2 months. But I went back and read these current episodes, and I was like realizing like it wasn't just a little of that Choso and Geto fight. It was damn near the whole fight. Like in Geto and Choso did like a little skibbity pop pop, and then it moved on to the next scene with a girl with the ice.
Oh, really?
So like all of that was new, and I was like, I felt like I remember some of it. No, I didn't remember any of it. So on the scale of those type of things, like with the bathroom fight too, it wasn't like that. There were, I think it translated the manga into an animated medium without adding too much at all, besides maybe a random scene here or there of people getting attacked by the
things.
Towards the end, and we can get into that in more detail, but it wasn't like too big. To be honest, I felt like initially seeing it without reading the chapter back, it felt like, wow, y'all are really dragging these scenes out towards the end where it was a lot of just exposition and talking, and it was just a lot of steals for like way too many seconds.
That though.
We're gonna get into it, but I think as a whole I enjoyed it. I would probably have given it like for a finale, even though we got that last episode before, I'd probably give it like a 9 because of what took place.
A good setup episode, which is kind of like an anime. That's kind of what I want from a finale, like a setup. I mean, this isn't like, I mean, most shows do that, even like American HBO shows, because we've decided episode 8 is always the best on Game of Thrones. Like we always talk about episode 8, not 10. So I think it's the same way. Same for me. I was very confused when I watched it. It was a lot of information dumping, but it felt like, I don't know, I felt confused. But then I decided like maybe I'm supposed to feel like how to care, because I just imagine myself being like Yuji or somebody who just be like living life and knew nothing about this whole world before any of this. So I just kind of feel like I felt like how maybe Yuji would feel hearing this. Like, what are you talking about? What?
You looking up in the sky too, being like, what's going on?
Who? Because I'm like, he's never heard of Tengen, right? He hasn't heard of any of this, I think. So it's like, I just imagine I was Yuji, and maybe that's how I was supposed to feel, because it just felt like a lot of information that I didn't have all the context to really understand the gravity of the situation. Like, it definitely felt like Yuki, is that her name?
Yuki,
right? Like, no, she understood it, but I didn't. She's her, so we'll get into it. But I overall enjoyed it. Of course, I love the music. I love some of the scenes. I love some of the shots that they did, so it was really good. And I could see
Great
them really
score.
I could see them really having key moments where they wanted to put more detailing in, and they've been able to. I noticed some scenes where it was given that level of detail that we kind of got earlier in the season, and it seemed like it was very important for them to get those particular shots with a lot of detail. So it was a reintroduction to more detailing than I've gotten used to over the past few episodes, but it was a nice kind of return of that. But it kind of made me wish I would have had it, because I just know it would have looked so good if they could have done it to the level I know they wanted to.
Yeah. I've been seeing, and like, especially like I just said, going back and reading some of the chapters, like looking at certain moments, like the Uzumaki attack in last episode. Like that was only just like a small panel with that attack in the background versus the way that they catered to it in the anime. So they, even though they have been under the work conditions they have and might not have been able to get everything out as they would have wanted, I appreciate a little bit more now when they do put their foot in it, because I know they're doing it under the same circumstances, and it's just like tipping my hat. Thank you so much for continuing to give us what they could.
Thank you. Yeah, like I love it. They've the moments they chose to do it though, they're really have been good moments, and I'm glad. Yeah,
impactful.
This is my screensaver now, so I know you can't really see what it is,
but I know what it is though.
It's Mahito being absorbed into Uzumaki. So
now you just got to change the ringtone. You got
wait. Oh no! Could you imagine?
You just at your job. All of a sudden somebody call you.
What?
Well, I guess it's time y'all get to know me.
I was on my phone trying to get. I saw somebody on TikTok who said their alarm is an applause. Have you seen that?
I have, and I thought about it for like
I wanted
2 days.
to do that. I was like, I kind of want to wake up to an applause. Like, oh yes, I'm. No, oh my God, I'm here. Oh my God, right. That's my favorite expression of 2023. To like I love the delusional.
The
Oh,
girl
that's
that
so
was
good.
at the stadium, and
Hmm.
she was like, "Yell if I'm thick," and they had just scored, and everybody was like, "Yeah," and she was like, "Oh my god."
Oh my God. Like, oh, anyway, so that's my screensaver now. So they did a good job. So how did this episode start? I always forget. Like, what did we start? We started with Kenjaku info dumping, right?
Yeah, I think
Pretty
we
much.
returned. Yeah, I think we returned right back to where it left off. I'm pulling it back up now just to make
Yeah,
sure I'm
because I'm
going
like, what
good.
Kenjaku was over here talking about?
So, but we got to listen to the intro one last time. I was a little emotional as it was playing.
Really?
Like hearing this for the last time. I mean, for a new episode, you know.
Right.
I mean, because theoretically, we might not get this back for another 2-3 years.
Yeah, I guess.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I actually forgot it was the last episode though, until like halfway
did you?
through. Like when everything happened and Kenjaku like disappeared with the prison realm cube.
Mm-hmm.
I like forgot it was the finale until then. Like
Yeah,
until
that was
that
real
moment.
finale-esque.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh no. But
Toodaloo.
yeah, so we got to hear it one last time, and then we come into Kenjaku and Yuki having this conversation. And I gotta say, like, I was underwhelmed with Yuki here, but I can't wait to see what Yuki does in the future if we ever get to see it. Because I'm just like, I don't really understand.
I got something to say about this, though.
Yeah, have something to say about her. Because I'm like, oh.
I'm sitting here like, you know, people just be adding words. Actually, I don't even know if she should get there because she says this towards the end. But she was like, I hope this makes it clear that I'm not like really on y'all's side.
Yeah.
She will get into what her motivations are, her goals and everything, but she admits that she was kind of just chilling on the sidelines for X amount of time because it already had gotten to where it was. So she was like,
yeah, she was like,
she was just seeing what he was gonna do or seeing where he would go since he was on a roll.
She was like, I gotta pretty much let it play out at this point because I didn't stop it early enough. So now I might as well let it play out.
But I want to know when you got there. That's what I really want to know, because obviously you let Toto get to where he was, but I want to know how many people you sat there and watched.
She must have like. I could see her seeing him seal Gojo and then being like, okay, let me see how this play out.
Back to Gojo?
Possibly.
That would piss me off.
Because I can see her being really like, not when Gojo got, not when he got sealed, but somewhat like close to after when he got sealed.
It better have been after Nanami. Oh, it better have been after Nanami.
I don't think she would have saved anybody.
She
obviously ain't trying to save nobody.
I can't. Okay, nobody. Let's roll right back into this because I feel like this connects to another later scene. So yeah, we get their conversation, and this is pretty much. I feel like I was sitting here like watching this. Like I feel like this is exactly what Bree was looking for, because I feel like this kind of does paint what at least majority of Kenjaku's plan is.
Yeah,
you know,
even though
like,
it was
I feel like. I feel like it was structured like an outline. They both stood there face to face, and she was like, her plan. Because at the end of the day, this both is about the evolution of humans, right? Is what it seems to be.
Yeah, he said optimizing them or something like that.
Right. Yuki's stance is we're gonna evolve, but we're gonna do that by taking away curse energy. Like humans are always gonna level up, but we need to like take this thing out so we can.
Was that her, or did she say was she the one who wanted to make everybody sorcerers, or did she say take away?
That's the other Geto side. Yeah, that was Geto. She had a different viewpoint from Geto too. Her thing was just eliminating curse energy, period. That's how we're gonna get that level of peace or whatever.
And he said that's not possible because humans always gonna have negative emotions.
Exactly. And then so she brought that up, and she was like, Kenjaku's idea is optimization, and how he gets that level of
that was the confusing to me.
The culling game.
That was confusing to me.
Like, so like what part of it was
like
for you?
The culling games is like, I got 1,000 people, I marked them, there's 3 types, right? It felt like 3 different types he named. He's like, some do this, some do that, and then some are like this.
What he did in that moment was he activated with the Mui Tenpin, with the Idol Transfiguration. He activated, I think it was 2 types of sorcerers. It was one that are like Junpei, who have cursed abilities, but their
Right.
brain is set up as like a human. They don't have
Right.
the structure for a Jujutsu sorcerer. So that's one set of people. The next one is people that he fed cursed items to, which
Like Yuji.
I think are like he said, the remain. I think these are like body parts of old sorcerers that he had pacts with. So essentially, he did the Sukuna to another group of people. Some people passed out, like Megumi's sister.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Who is this again?
Oh shoot! Because of the like the name on the plate going in, I was like Fushiguro.
I saw that and I was like,
Joji. Oh, Megumi. Oh, his sister.
I just remember looking like, who is her? Who is she? I mean, I knew it was related to him. Like, who is this? Is this his mom? Is this his sister? Like, I don't remember nobody.
It was in a flashback. Remember when they went to his school and found out about his backstory, like being like the head, beating up like the bullies and stuff.
Nope.
Remember that part?
Don't remember it. That's why I was like, who is this girl?
That's his like motivation for being a Jujutsu sorcerer, I think.
Oh, so he gonna be triggered.
Oh, big time. I mean, she's in this culling game now.
Yeah.
So basically, his idea of optimization is, he says, he realized through all these years of creating, doing these experiments, the 9 paintings, specifically Choso, I guess, since it did pan over to him, that was his version of evolving humanity. But he realized anything that he creates it can't pass his own ceiling, I guess. Like it can never be greater than him, because he's like the one creating it. So he was like, I have to create chaos in order for chaos that I can't even control, something that's bigger than myself, to force that evolution,
to like push that evolution.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think that's what he is doing with the culling game, by making all of these, like taking it back to the Heian era, where it was nothing but apparently just cursing people left and right, blah blah blah. So that's what he wants to do. I think that was the shout out to Sukuna too.
Right. Okay. So that makes sense. Like I got all that. I was just a little bit confused about it. And then we get to the part where, he does that. What does he do? He does the seal, and then all the blackness starts, and all these cursed energies are flying everywhere. Hi. And then like that shot was gorgeous. First of all, I love that shot. Like
so good.
When all the spirits were just like coming up around.
That
and, like,
was really creepy to me too.
Because this episode had like horror elements though.
Absolutely. Like it set the tone. I'm about to say it definitely set the tone for a couple of more scenes in the episode, because I was just putting myself next to Yuji or Yuki or whoever, and looking around you and seeing just hundreds of these. Check me out.
It was crazy.
Bite my tongue.
Once again, y'all already know how I am. I'd be like, I don't care what this one girl said. She was like, I don't care that billionaires are building bunkers. I am not trying to survive. It don't matter to me. Thank you. I'm not gonna be here.
Yeah. So we could find a solution in 2 weeks, baby. I won't be here to find out.
I'm glad y'all figured it out. Not into the rebuilding humanity thing.
This is hard enough. We don't got cursed spirits that we know of. So no, I'm good.
If that happened, I definitely would be out of it. So yes. So then all of that was released. Oh, and that shot of Kenjaku or Geto with that cube and just disappearing into the blackness and curses. So good. So, and Yuji's response to it, like, give Gojo back. Like, that was, I just love that whole little exchange. And
that was really, I wish, like, it's really killing me that we ain't seen Gojo in so long, like, actively interacting with people. It's getting to me.
I know. So, I guess sealing Gojo was just so he wouldn't interfere, obviously, because Gojo would not have let that go down. Yuki, he probably was like, he probably knew to some degree that Yuki would be more willing to let it happen, because she wants to evolve humanity as well. Well, not evolve humanity, but she kind of wants the same outcome to some degree of like getting rid of cursed energy and spirits. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, that's like definitely not what he's trying to do at all.
No, I know this, but I feel like she would still feel. I think he knew she would be more. She's more ambiguous morally. So I don't think it would be like Yuki's definitely gonna try to stop me. I don't feel like
Okay, I can probably kind of see that.
she's
Yeah.
ambiguous. Like Gojo definitely would never have let it happen. It don't matter
No,
what you
not
say.
1 second of the day.
Yeah. So maybe that's why he was willing to let Yuki just be out there or not have a plan for dealing with her. Because it's just those three, right? Oh no,
mean, I
and
think-
Yuta is special grade.
I mean, but he already spit at Yuta's name.
Yeah, so he
moment
wasn't
he
worried
brought that
about
up.
Yuta.
And I think
Right.
that kind of extends to Yuki too, because even though they are the top three, we don't really know where the power jump is, like how wide that gap is. So it could be to where like Kenjaku is just honestly not that intimidated by Yuki as a whole, like when it comes to what she could. Because I feel like
in action, I'm like, yeah, Kenjaku, because Geto was so strong, then Kenjaku is also ultra strong.
Right. So I think it was just like, even though she probably could, be a hindrance, Gojo is a immediate stop to it all, so he is, I feel like, and on top of this man is not, I don't feel like he just threw this plan together in a day. You know what I mean? So
this man been coming back for what, hundreds, thousands of years?
Yeah, Gojo, I feel like at this point was the literal last piece of the puzzle. Once he got him off, it was kind of just, actually, no, not the last piece. We have proof that's not the last piece, but I feel like that was like kind of this is where the gas on the pedal. Yeah, because I mean, you think about it, he even was like, we find out, grooming the cursed spirits around him, like Jogo, Mahito. He was kind of like going along with their plan to feed his plan, but also, like he said, once he does his what is it? What? Cursed spirit manipulation. Once he does that, they stop
growing, which is like, it's kind of sick, but it was like, okay, this is why you want a Mahito to grow, and this is what you were trying to get to, and ultimately that was the point. Was okay, so like, when she saw that seal, she was like, that's Tengen's seal, right? Isn't that what Yuki said when he did the movie?
Oh yeah, she thought it was, she originally mistaken it as his thing, but she was like, no, that's not what this is at all. This is remote activation of a technique.
Yeah, and that part was confusing to me too, because I'm like, remote activation, I gotta do my jujutsu. I'm gonna go ask the AI to explain this to me. Explain this to me, because I don't understand remote activation. But the fact that she even thought it was for a second is interesting to me. That shows how powerful Mahito kind of really was.
Yeah, because I was about to say that is his technique. I don't know if I think that came from Mahito specifically, because he could do that. He was really showcasing that off a lot during that last battle, making the people's head explode, and even the girl that was sitting there crying, he had her time to apparently when she explained whatever to Yuji. So we've been getting the little breadcrumbs to the scale, but we didn't know what it was, how big it could grow until he evolved. And it's
crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And then he said he wanted to absorb Jogo too. Thank God he didn't.
Ooh, I just thought about could you imagine Otaku speeding around here with volcanic abilities? Making meteors.
I'm so glad Sukuna killed him, but oh my God, yeah. But that was a very interesting thing. Okay, so that was the point of this whole Mahito thing, and letting him evolve and all that stuff like that. So that kind of made sense. I was glad I got an answer about that. I did like the comic relief of Yuki when she was standing there listening to all this, and she was getting pissed off. It's like, you gotta help me kill him. It's like, we gotta jump on. That was cute though.
That was really cute. And then that's something that could easily, and that's one thing too I realized while watching this episode, there are a lot of things that when we find out the situation with the artist, I feel like our brains, a lot of the time when we see something that feels like it would be off for the show or the anime, we immediately go they just they run out of time, blah blah blah, they just trying to cut corners. But then it's when you really look at the source material, because in my brain, even though I read that portion, I was like, damn, they really cutting corners with this Yuki joke laughing part. And I was like, wait a minute, this was in the manga.
I was like, that's an anime thing. They goofy, very simplified versions that look
but then in my brain, I was just like, that didn't happen in the manga. No, it was literally drawn directly from the manga, which was a cute moment too.
So this is scary. So just keep me on track. So we had that whole, this is the culling games. This is his way to evolve humanity and optimize people or whatever. So that's great. I also thought it was cool that Yuki was talking to Gato, like almost talking to him like Gato. That was interesting to me. She was like, okay, Gato's still kind of in there, or y'all share a brain and remember this conversation. But after that, we see the whole plan start in motion. Kenjaku disappears with Gojo in the prison realm cube. And then we get this little segment, right? That's when we get the segment of the cutscenes.
Yeah.
Just like a lot of still shots and people talking on the news. And it was confusing to me because I didn't understand what the black, and was that a blackout that we were seeing? Like the blackness spreading? Was that the blackout?
Yeah. I think that was like, it started from Sukuna's original attack, and then it was just showing where
Kenjaku was. Kenjaku was a little north of where they blew a hole in Shibuya, right? Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
That big black hole was like what Sukuna did.
Yeah.
And then we saw one spreading. And at first, like in my mind, when I was watching it, I was a little confused because I was like, okay, because when he did it, it was like this blackness spreading. Like when he first did it and he disappeared into that blackness with all these curses coming out. I thought that's what was spreading on the map.
Oh, gotcha. No,
that's why I was confused.
Just a power, like a power type thing.
Okay.
Like electricity going out and spreading.
But that's why I was confused, because then all these cursed spirits was everywhere and people, I was like, okay, so is that blackness is what's spreading and they're just saying it's a blackout to cover, or like was it? Yeah, I was confused. That's why.
So I don't got confirmation on that. I think it was definitely like, I think it was showing how much of a dead zone that area was spreading out to be, and that was like adding to the exposition later about like all the only places that really were considered safe zones. And they did point out though, and I can't find specifically, I think they were talking about the cursed spirits that were released by either, there's only two things this could be. When they were saying that there were a little less than 10 million cursed spirits popping up, I was like, was that released from Kenjaku, or was that
because
from
Gato only had 5,000?
But I'm trying to think at what point was that? Because that was confirmed when Geto was still alive, right? During the movie.
Yeah, and that's why I thought maybe that thing he was spreading was turning people into cursed spirits. Like they were trying to evacuate people, but then it was a lot of people that just got changed or something. Like that transfiguration. Like, so in my brain when I watched it, not knowing what was going on, my brain was just like, he did that whole Mojito thing, right? And it activated the people he marked. And then like it also transformed some people, like how Mojito does with souls.
I mean, maybe because like I don't know how he would have 10 million cursed,
right? Spirits. And then it just started spreading throughout, and it caused the blackout. Yeah, but it also caused a lot of people to like transform into
that. Might be
that was the only thing that made sense to me. That's why he wanted Mojito's ability to be able to turn a whole bunch of people also into cursed or somewhat cursed spirits or whatever.
So I do know for a fact Mojito was the linchpin for the culling game specifically. So I don't know if he utilized it in that way to turn other people.
Because isn't that what idol transfiguration does?
It changes the makeup of your like outside and stuff, as long as it doesn't. Like, right. It changed the soul.
That's what Mojito does to people, like with his idol transfiguration. So that's why I was thinking when he did the big one that covered all that area, it was like everybody, the people he marked would kind of stay, but then everybody else was turned into those. They're not really cursed spirits. They're just, like you said, he changes the shape of their body, kind of.
Yeah, I can't like disprove that at all.
That's what I thought, because I was like, 10 million is a lot.
That is a lot.
And Gato only had 5,000,
but
that made no sense.
My other idea was that it was from the absolute panic, or just
people was like turning because of the panic.
Releasing more like negative curse energy, which in turn created.
Also could be the case. And he also had all them people in Shibuya, but I know Gojo killed a bunch of them. Well, no, he didn't kill him. So also he had trapped all them people in that dome in the beginning of the arc. So it also could have been them. I don't know if it was 10 million people in Shibuya, but that was the whole point of having all them people in there to overwhelm.
How many people is in Shibuya? Let me see.
Gojo, but and then also you got to think like it was Halloween, so that's where everybody went for Halloween too, like all around Japan. So it could be just that.
There ain't that many people in Shibuya.
How many people just like
236,000 people.
Yeah, but they come. Everybody goes there for Halloween though.
Yeah.
So that was like the whole point. Yeah. So even if it wasn't that many, all those people would have been there. So it could have been also those people. That's the other possibility that it was just that. But I'm just gonna believe that the idol transfiguration transformed everybody. And if you weren't marked by Kenjaku, you just got turned into whatever when that darkness spread over where you were. You got transformed. But those shots were crazy.
The two girls sitting at the table and then just getting like demolished. That wasn't in the manga.
It wasn't. I was not expecting that.
The little girl was.
Oh, she was? Oh my God. So so let's go to this. I'm very excited to see where, kind of scared, but it feels like Harry Potter. Like the first couple Harry Potters were like colorful and like magical and fun. Like even with my kids, I've only recently let my oldest start watching the later Harry Potters, but as far as the younger ones, they can only watch like 1 and 2, you know, until they're like a certain age. Then they can watch 3 because it gets so dark. And by the time you're at the end of it, and I just feel like Jujutsu Kaisen had its like turn into horror. Cause like, what was that? And somebody who hates horror, I was like, what's happening? Yeah, I don't like this.
They definitely the days of happy Jujutsu Kaisen are long gone. Okay, I think the ending with him, with Yuji just standing at the bridge with the sun to his back and his shadows and stuff in front of him, I feel like that is a great metaphor for the rest of this show. Like I feel like our happy days are gone.
I enjoyed the happy days of all the eye candy. If we don't get any more happy days like that, I'm so glad they gave us so much eye candy in season 2, just to kind of like
purpose.
Yeah, carry us forward and hang on into this like dark story. But it was so dark, and I don't like horror, but the way I jumped when that thing flew through the room, I jumped. And then like when the news reporter was out there, it was just, I don't know, like I'm like, am I gonna be able to hang? And then the girl in the convenience store, I was like,
and even knowing, because that scene, I remember that vividly from the manga, and they really elevated that. Like, and that's the thing too, just simply holding the camera on her eating for an extended period of time, or maybe focusing on the background for an extended period of time. Those are the same shots in the manga, but just seeing it like with the music and everything, it's so eerie. They do a good job.
It was so scary. Hello.
Was that a dead body, or was that like part of the cursed spirit? Because it felt like he just picked up a dead body and did that with it.
Yeah, I don't know. I was creeped out. That's what I did. Had they just started? Has my show just started? We're 30 minutes in and we're just talking about the episode. We're on the part where the girl, if you haven't seen it, she's in the convenience store. It was so creepy, and she was like, "I have food." Oh, I was just creeped out.
But I was like, creepy. Little girl.
And when she was looking, she's like, "Oh, do you need something to drink?" I mean, she was looking dry. She was looking dry.
This girl has never seen a horror movie. She has never been sitting on the couch playing with her Legos while somebody else is watching something, because I'm like, this naked, shriveled up thing, and you like running to it to give it water. Like running to it to give it water.
And she didn't notice all that darkness over there. Like, but then I wonder if this like, can she obviously can see curses.
I think that's what Yuta was pointing out.
Yeah, she can see them because she was able to talk to it and see it. But I'm like, girl, you ain't see that this looked a little off or something? Why aren't there people? So yeah, I don't know what that was, but that gets us to it. She went outside and she was about to get eaten, which that shot was beautiful. That shot was so speaking of a part they put their foot in, one Kenjaku with that cube going into the darkness, and this scene right here. That scene was so beautiful, like the way she was in slow motion and you just saw the spirit opening up. Woo,
Nightmare
chills.
fuel is what I call it. You call it beautiful. I call it nightmare fuel.
It was
That
beautiful.
took me out. Just it's something about teeth for me, like monstrous, a huge mouth. Like it's something about being swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed?
It was like a whale, you know. She didn't either. It was giving like Chainsaw Man to me. Something about that scene.
Really?
It was something about that city scene. I don't know what scene it is, but it was. It reminded me a little bit of that. I don't know why.
I mean, don't they have, you know how like Aki does the like cone and he summons his like fox thing? Doesn't somebody else do that in this?
Does somebody? I don't think the only person who summons stuff is Megumi with his foxes.
Yeah, I feel like Megumi does that.
Yeah,
with the same way.
It could be like based on Japanese lore, and traditions and stuff like that. So that's probably why there's a lot of crossover. But yes, and then Yuta came back.
Fine. Well, actually, no, not finally, because he had me happy for like 2 to 3 minutes.
Well, first of all, what's going on with Yuta? But first, I love that scene. It's something about the angle in which they shot it, and like Yuta covering her face. That was so cute. Yeah, when he covered her eyes. Like, no, don't look at that. Yeah, I don't know.
So it shows that he's not like a ruthless ass, you know, like he still is like similar to the Yuta we experience, but Yuta's also very tired. Yuta is tired. He's been training.
Yuta be running around town with a cursed spirit as his girlfriend. I bet he is tired.
And Rika.
Yeah.
Rika's not gone.
She's not. That's what I thought Rika was going to be gone. I don't know. Yeah, I was like, okay, but we didn't see Rika though.
I mean,
we didn't get to see Rika. So I'm curious to know if Rika is still, I don't think Rika's still in her form she was in the movie. That's what I'm thinking.
No.
Like he can, it's almost like she's, I don't know, but I don't, because she I don't think she's in her form she was in the movie. We didn't see her, but it's almost like maybe he can channel her or she's in, I don't know, but I just, something about it seems like maybe she's not in the same form.
Yeah, because I feel like they would have showed like a glimpse of her or something.
Yeah.
But he did effectively not have to attack for that to get like completely demolished.
Right.
And he did like mention her too, told her to calm down a little bit. So I like that relationship is still there in some way, because I was a little like, you like look at me, I literally said what's his name, Gojo literally was like talking mess to Kenjaku, was like, remember when, you know,
not Toxic
who was the last
head.
one? Okay. Toxic Biscuit Head.
That's what Yellow Drop Toxic Biscuit Head emotes. They're my emotes, but he said lurking. But yeah, but go ahead.
What's I about to say?
Sorry.
No, you good.
I made you lose your train of thought.
Yeah, I did.
But the fact that he was able to do the attack and Rika was able to do it by herself, and then we get that weird scene where, I'm so lost. What is happening this whole third act? What is this?
So
Yuta look tired. Yuta need iron pills. Yes.
Awesome. Yeah. He's definitely, at least it feels like that gives me some confirmation that he was doing something during this time, because I'm like, okay, he showed up exhausted, so he was at least doing stuff.
I feel like he always looked that way though.
I feel like he did look a little tired in the movie, but
always look tired. Like he got them little doe eyes that droop on the side, so he got that tired kind of look with a very warm smile. Like that's Yuta to me.
I don't know, for some reason it just felt more. I'm like just trying to briefly.
Maybe he been fighting all day.
Oh yeah, he definitely don't look as tired. I just pulled the movie up. He does not look like this.
Okay, well, he been tired. He's tired. Okay,
he does. He's always had the like redness here or the puffiness, and but like
droopy eyes on the side.
Yeah, and the droopy eyes. But I don't know. It's just something about maybe the exaggerated line art underneath his eyes now. It could be. I don't know if it was just an artistic change, but he looked like he needs to rest. Like
he been fighting day
and
night.
Good rest.
Good little nap. Yeah.
So
that was an awesome way to see you to return. So excited. Was he a special grade sorcerer? And he's now a special grade sorcerer. He wasn't in the movie yet because he had just started. right?
Yeah, I think
movie.
he's either a first or he has to
He's
be a
special
special grade,
grade.
right? Yeah, he
Yeah, it
has to
said
be a
it.
special grade.
Yeah, it said special grade.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, which if he still, especially if he still has access to Rika in some way, he's already powerful on his own because he can he can mimic any type of curse technique, which is just
That's OP.
It's just OP on its own.
Can he mimic Gojo?
I don't think so.
Mm.
Ooh, we got to revisit that movie. I feel like they would have said that.
Yeah, and I feel like that'd be like
no,
the first
because
thing...
nobody can mimic the 6 eyes. No, that's only.
Well, that's why I said
plus
that
only
should
one
be
can
the first
exist at a
thing you
time.
taught him how to do. Like, if
Is
you can
mimic
mimic, do that. Yeah, because like, let me forget all that. Let me do this or whatever.
You think Gojo would do that though? I feel like he's
No.
like, yeah, he wouldn't do that.
Gojo wants to be the strongest, so I don't think that truly. But so Yuta came back, and then we got this whole like montage of like, you know, what happened.
How the world is reacting.
How the world's reacting, and then we also got the Jujutsu Society or whatever put out this thing, or was that at the end?
Ooh,
which I was just like,
so
what is happening?
This pissed me off so bad.
It was crazy. I was not expecting some of those like decisions. Which I guess that leads to a whole nother. Are you watching it? I want to know what each person, what they said again, because I'm like, now I'm thinking about, I think in the last episode.
I remember from when I read it in the manga, because I was laying in bed furious because I had to go back and reread the chapter. Like, what did I miss? How did the story change? Because they said for number one, it pulled up Kenjaku or Ghetto. And you good?
Why am I blinking on camera? Okay, go ahead.
I'm gonna look at you.
I had like a little, it stopped, but it was like doing like a little, like my microphone was blinking or something, and it's not. Okay. But go ahead.
But the first one that got brought up was Kenjaku, and it was like, well, Suguro Geto. Yeah. It was like he is actually alive, and that the
his
order
execution
is reinstated,
which was like, okay, because he already had an execution order.
Cool, absolutely, that makes sense.
Even though that's bad, but you know, I understand.
And then the next one, let me pull it back up because I don't remember the order. I
think it was Gojo next.
Oh yeah, Gojo was sealed, and so they were like, he was an accomplice in the Shibuya incident, and that his unsealing him, any effort to unseal him, is now like illegal. And
if he is, it's punishable by death, right?
Yeah. So that's
they wanted him out of the way.
They've always wanted Gojo specifically out the way, just because he wasn't a puppet to them. Right. So now this is finally there. I feel like they would have wanted to have him sealed anyway. And do I think they would have done it under these circumstances? Like, would they have still tried to take Gojo off the table if the culling game was happening? No, but I think they're just taking advantage.
Crackpot theory that somehow the Jujutsu Society, the people at the top, like I think I said it in the last episode, like we're gonna find out they're not all good, and they could have possibly made a deal with Kenjaku even. That's what I'm thinking. Because I'm like, if we want Gojo sealed, okay, if you can seal Gojo, then
yeah. See, if they I'm sorry. If they are like slick evil, that makes this make sense, because otherwise it does not whatsoever. Unless they were just taking advantage of getting him off the table because he was a problem for them.
I mean, part of me is like, are they covering for the public to make it seem like whatever? Because there was that point in the episode where they're gonna expose curses or something like that. Didn't they say that?
Yeah, because it's like there's no way to continue covering up anything. We have to evacuate millions of people. We have to section off. I think they named this city or I think it was maybe even Tokyo, that they were gonna block it off and just claim that all the cursed spirits are being in Tokyo, and that the rest of the world, to like mitigate the panic.
Yeah, because people are also dying, so you can't just be like nothing's happening. Because they first say like, oh, it's a blackout, so now you got to go. But now it's like, okay, we're gonna say there's cursed.
They don't know if the prime minister's alive, I think they said, or whatever. Yeah. Like, it's big people, and that's something I was hoping Jujutsu Kaisen was gonna do, because looking at the reactions of people during that beginning montage was a little infuriating. Everybody is aware of it, but they're all like talking about it so cavalier and smiling, and they're not gonna be able to lobby if they're dead.
Yeah, or like people just watching the news and thinking it was still a blackout, so they were just chilling in their house, like, well, my power worked, which I think people still would do that too. Also, just all the reactions just didn't seem to match what was going on to me.
All.
But I think it was some of that. So it seems like the Jujutsu Society is like behind a lot more of this, and I definitely feel like they would have cut a deal with Kenjaku to seal Gojo.
I mean, I'm believing that now because at this point, I needed to make sense. So
and then also Yuji, like
that's what I'm about to say. Not only was the injustice with Gojo, but then I think it was maybe before it got to Yuji, it was their freaking principal, the one that trained them. All of a sudden, he has to die now because he incited them. No, I just happened to train the 2 strongest people on the planet. And I can't control what they do. I can't control what they do after they leave me.
They came after her. I was like, how did he get there? I think that was my response when I watched
How I get in it?
How did he get in it?
Wow.
Like Candy
Nene.
when she was talking about.
Wow, Nene. That's crazy.
That was crazy to me. Yeah, I think him being thrown in there was definitely like
the injustice of injustices.
The story that they're kind of spinning is like they are plotting this is who is plotting to kill humanity.
Yeah.
Like they're trying to get y'all. That seems the story they're trying to craft here. So then it would make it seem like there's no mention of Kenjaku. Did they say Kenjaku? They just said Geto is still alive.
Geto. Yep.
There's no mention of Kenjaku. There's no mention of nothing. Like,
yeah. This is definitely them trying to twist it. I think because I do believe that the world as a whole is about to be introduced to cursed spirits or whatever, but they're taking that narrative and like using it to their benefit too.
Right.
You know, but I don't know. I mean, I guess it still does make people go for Geto, quote unquote, but they just really had to sprinkle in the principal and Gojo, which irritates the hell
they
out
had
of
to
me.
make it seem like a uprising or a mutiny, like these are the bad guys.
Once we take care of them, everything's over, but y'all don't know what y'all in for.
I don't know. Wait. It's just weird. So that was it. And then Yuji was sentenced to death as well.
Oh yeah, Yuji was sentenced to death. His because he was always sentenced to death, but it was just on hiatus, I guess.
Yeah, and I think it was always decided that if Sukuna took over, he would be killed, right? I think that was always
but it was like Gojo's responsibility.
Yeah, so that's kind of also a problem.
Now looking at the last slide, it's now Yuta's responsibility, not putting the main character of the movie and the main character of the show. This is irritating me.
And then like the way they was talking to him, like what's going on there? Like, was that just animated that way? Like when he was in that room and all them little doors were showing up?
No, that was in the manga. And actually they took away from the manga because they clearly showed one of the people behind the curtain. Like he was like an old decrepit man with a little weird ass swoopy hair. Oh, I got a picture of him, I think, on my screen right now.
Yeah, those people, I'm gonna just call them the Illuminati. But those people, I think they're like not good.
No, those are the people that was talking to Gojo in the beginning. And he was like, I can kill all y'all right now.
Yeah, when that's the people who Gojo wanted to kill.
Yeah, these are the people that are really pulling the strings, I think.
Yeah, and Geto was like, let's not kill him, right? When they were like clapping when Rico was dead. Was her name Rico?
Rika.
No, Rika's Yuta girlfriend, right?
Oh.
Star Vessel was Rico.
Riku.
Okay.
It was one of them. Riri.
Okay. Yeah, they terrible. I was just so tired. I just feel like this was the most tiring arc. The only thing that was more tiring to me, besides the end of this, was Attack on Titan. But this was tiring.
Girl, it's gonna get more tired. It's just gonna get more tired. Oh, I
see. And then like we get that lovely last shot of Yuji, which I thought was a very nice shot. It's very aesthetic. I don't know what he was doing.
Yeah. So I mean, actually, I think I do. I think I know.
He was just and then a sound, and then a whole bunch of spirits came out the water. I don't really know what it was.
I think that was him just showing like time moving forward. Like, I don't think it was like a crazy jump, but you do see like he now has these new scars
so
or
the time
whatever,
was
and has
going.
had some time. Yeah, so I think because there's so many curse spirits now, he's just kind of like on patrol. He was getting their attention. Boom, had him pop up, and then he's going to do his job. I think that's what it was. But also, like I said earlier,
there was
I
a
think
sound
this was
too
a
when he
metaphor.
did it as well.
Yeah, it was like a rumbling
above him. Yeah, I thought I heard a sound above him.
Oh, it was above?
I don't know.
It sounded like rumbling to me, like the earth.
Okay.
To me.
So this is basically Kenjaku's rumbling.
Yeah.
I mean, in essence.
Yeah,
this is just crazy. And the fact that Mei just left like that, and she was like not worried about any. She didn't get in trouble. She was not worried about anything. Like,
she ain't got no poster at the end.
That's what I'm saying.
But I mean, I feel like Mei probably always been like a kind of probably like a favorite to them because she's way more easier to control as long as
she don't care as long as they pay her. Yeah.
Right. So,
and I think that was kind of always the thing. Like Gojo and Mei were kind of always a little bit at odds, or he always kind of felt that way about her.
Anybody really giving them the friction, and
that Nanami had to go.
Nanami, yeah. Well, I don't know.
Nanami, for this.
I feel like Nanami also had like, wasn't he kind of like indifferent to Geto's plan? Like, I feel like he wasn't one that was. I feel I might have to do some more research.
I was gonna say I remember, but he definitely.
I think he was kind of like he had his duty to protect and all that type of stuff, but I think like. So I don't know if I read this somewhere. I gotta look at that before I give like a definite answer to that. But something tells me like he was kind of like in a not a Yuki space, but like very similar.
Just kind of like I don't really. I feel like he's more so like I just do my job and go home.
Yeah, no, really.
Like so, like he'd be like, I'm tired of all this overtime, but I just feel like that's kind of more so how he was.
I think so too. Yeah. That might be what I'm referring to.
So yeah, I don't know. It was quite a finale. I'm kind of excited to see what happens next. Oh, sorry. I should have had coffee. But I'm interested to see what the point of the Culling Games is and like where does Gojo fit in? What is the plan? Like where, like it's even out of Kenjaku's control. So then like what role is Kenjaku playing from here on out too? I just want to know. Like,
but this is like, I'm at least gonna say this. Like, I feel like the Culling Game is like the rest of the show so far. Like, I think even right now in the manga, so if anybody's like correcting me, you can correct me in the comments or whatever. But I feel like it's at least the remnants of it is still being like felt in this point in the manga. So it's like this is the like turning point for like this is the rest like of the series. Pivotal.
Is it given like in Dragon Ball? Is it Dragon Ball Kai with the gods? Where they had that whole tournament where it was like it was the show and then it suddenly turned into the tournament and that was like most of the show.
Kind of, I think so, because this is like they didn't go into the breakdown or whatever, but I mean I don't think that's crazy. They call it the Culling Game, so it has like rules. Like there's like 7 main rules, and it just plays out from there based on those specific rules, which are very interesting. And I'm excited when we finally get there.
And I'm still like under the feeling that what happened in Gato's body was orchestrated. Also, you see this blanket? You see that?
I do now. Yeah.
Nothing.
The police, they coming.
What is it?
Is that not from your screen?
No.
That's
weird. I have no idea what that is. But that they had something to do with Gato's body being taken by Kenjaku. Like, let me find out the Jujutsu Society was housing Kenjaku. Or possibly even Kenjaku was somebody in the Jujutsu Society and was able to get a hold of Gato's body. Because that's the only thing that makes sense at this point to me. Because I'm just like, so either Gojo really just left a special grade sorcerer's corpse on the street. Which it don't sound like that's what happened. It sounded like Shoko didn't take care of it that day.
But he didn't task Shoko out because I think that's what was brought up. It was like, oh, you didn't give this. You didn't task that to Shoko, did you?
Right, but like there would have been. It sounds like there would have maybe been somebody else, or it would have been tasked to somebody else.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I want to know who that is.
Exactly, because I'm like maybe that was Kenjaku or somebody in the Jujutsu Society. Definitely.
Gojo can't be that busy. Gojo cannot be that busy to not take care of the
Maybe he
love of
was
his
just
life.
well, maybe that's what I was thinking. Like maybe it was an avoidant thing. Thank you for the Happy New Year wish. Happy New Year to you too. Like
Happy New Year.
maybe he was just like emotionally distraught, and like you know how you get like avoidant, like he
I
shut
don't
down
know.
and he just
It
didn't
just
want to
don't
be like.
seem like the thing you can procrastinate. The body of a man that houses thousands of cursed
But I
spirits.
also feel like maybe that's why he was kind of like they should decide what to do with it, or
To
maybe
who?
it was, or
With
maybe
the
it was.
people he hates.
Yeah, because it's not as simple as just burying him or whatever, because he has all those cursed spirits in there. That's what Toji said.
I feel like Gojo, out of anybody, should know what could happen just based on his ability to read cursed energy the way he can.
Yeah.
I feel like he would be the best person to be tasked to it. At least be the one spearheading
I think they
it.
would have thought that he might have even had to be sealed before he was buried. Like, you know, you can't give. Like, I just would see that for Gato, you can't just bury Gato. Like, you can't. He has to be dealt with specially. So even if Shoko was the one who usually maybe handles that, like it could have just been something where it's like, well, we don't actually know what to do with him because we can't just bury him. We can't just prepare the body. Like we have to figure out what to do about all these curses he holds. So I feel like it also could have just been something like that. Like they mentioned in passing, but it also would make sense to me that he would have to be dealt with specially. Because it's just his situation. And it just left a good window for Kenjaku to get in. The way Kenjaku said it is like he was just walking down the street and seeing the body and
just pick it up, jump in.
How convenient.
Oh my god. So who got a saw?
Oh my gosh. Right. Because somebody also would have had to do that.
Right. I mean, he could probably still
Does the brain walk?
I don't know yet.
Not Kenjaku like that little brain on what's that? Teenage Mutant Ninja? Is that Teenage Mutant? Or is that somebody got a brain in there and they I think it was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I wasn't that like crazy huge of a team. I haven't seen like full.
So he would have had to have help. So that's why.
I mean, we just saw Mahito running around with tiny little feet underneath his head.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm still under the impression that Jujutsu Society was a part of Kenjaku's plan or helped Kenjaku get Gato's body.
I'm with you at that point because I have no answers to that, and this feels like the only thing that makes it make sense. But what the part that just is unsettling to me, and the part that I don't agree with and just will never understand is if Gojo is, I get it, avoidance maybe, but if he's at the level that he is to the point where he can sun these people on the daily to where they have to kind of at the end of the day, not even that, but like there should have been no point in Geto's disposal that he should not have been aware of, part of, informed of. Even if they didn't want to, he has the ability to put them in a corner. So like not knowing where his body is to this day is odd to me.
Yeah, and then that's why I think it was somebody obviously working at that, because of the fact that it never came up again. It was never like nobody was looking for Gato's body. Like the fact that it just kind of was able to go along without Gojo knowing, which he would assume that it was handled, you know. And if he would have went to somebody and said, "Is it handled?" They'd be like, "Yeah."
Right, but like, you're in a world with no Olivia Pope, so why are you listening to anyone that says that?
But you know, what
that's the only one I'm gonna believe when they tell me
the fact that he was just not even aware that this could even be a possibility would tell me that somebody higher up than him was behind it. Because he would have just been told it was handled. His body was handled, and it's not Shoko, so it's not your best friend who you can call and ask yourself.
It's crazy though, because for me as Gojo, she would be the only one I would trust to just tell me it's handled. You got to show me proof, take me to where, like, explain it to me, walk me through it. If not, I'm about to holler purple your ass. So you choose.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. It was an oversight, but maybe it was an emotional thing. But that just tells me
definitely had to be
for it to have worked out this way. It just would have had to be a higher up that had something to do with it. There's just no way that it would have just slid under the radar and Gojo wouldn't noticed. And at some point he wouldn't ask somebody, was he buried? And they would have been like, it's fine. No grave, nothing. Or there had to be grave. Like, it's just too many things that would have to not exist for me to really believe Gojo just carried on with his life. But that was only like, what, a year ago?
No, that was longer than a year ago.
No.
Wasn't it?
I think they was talking about like how it was a year ago when he did the attack. That was the movie. When they killed him.
We had this discussion too. And
no, but it was because even Kenjaku said that he would have won that whole thing, but he had his forces too spread out. Remember, and Kenjaku said that like last episode, he was like, "Oh, he actually would have won if he didn't have his resources spread out so much."
Right.
That was a year ago.
That might have been okay. You're right.
Yeah, because it was like a year ago he released all these curses.
Oh, I'm thinking of hidden inventory.
Yeah, no.
I'm thinking of hidden inventory. All these jumps.
I know the movie. So when he actually died,
right?
So yeah,
right,
I'm
right.
like, okay, that wasn't. I guess that wasn't that long ago. Like,
no,
maybe,
it wasn't.
Maybe you would have. You didn't go visit the grave or nothing, no. But I guess in Japan they don't really do graves. They be having like little shrines or something. Like you would have your own shrine. So I don't know. That was just all too perfect to work out this way. So I'm looking forward to see anything else about the show before. I know Hood Magic had asked us to tell us by the end of it all something. I think it was like our favorite
fight
or
moments. No, favorite moments
this season. So what's your favorite moments this season?
I have a few. Let me boil it down to 3 though. Oof. Okay, yeah, I got a top 3.
Inventory is part of this, right? Technically,
yeah. Number 1 is all of hidden inventory.
Yeah, for sure.
Just all of hidden inventory.
All of it. It was so good.
Aesthetic, the getting to know these characters. I feel like that was the gate for a lot of people to feel anything about Geto. Really, for real. So I can't break that up into anything. My answer for that is going to be, but that's my like number 2 is all of hidden inventory. Honestly, my number 1 was the Choso and Yuji fight. I can't get that out of my dreams. I periodically go back to feel those endorphins again. That was just a great moment in anime for me. For a show that I have grown to love a lot within the course of one season, because I was standing Jujutsu Kaisen.
Exactly, like season 1, I was kind of like, I like this, but I wasn't like a stan.
I was a big fan. Mm-hmm. I definitely the first time I saw that outro told me I was going to enjoy this a lot. Like, I don't know what it was about that outro, baby. That just got me. And then obviously the show developments, the art, the action, all of that. And then this season was when it really like just grabbed me by the throat emotionally and told me that this is going to be a part of you for a long time.
And it's going to mature a lot too. I can. That's what makes me the most excited about it. I could feel that this show is going to mature and get darker. Mm-hmm. And I absolutely love that. And it's definitely doing that. So what else? So Choso fight, hidden inventories, and what's going to be your answer?
Choso fight, hidden inventory, and I do like that so many people died.
Yeah, I love that.
I really do like that so many people died, because even though I do in an essence like kind of do hate it, like I want to see some of these characters in a better place in Malaysia for some people, but I like that they're taking it there. Like they are, ever since Game of Thrones, it has unlocked that level of you will never feel comfortable with anyone. I kind of need that in shows that I really enjoy. I like being unaware. I like, maybe guessing some stuff, but just like they will make you cry. I really enjoy that. This show takes it there, like a lot of other shows, but that they do it, I'm happy about. So that's my top 3: Choso versus Yuji, all of hidden inventory, and just that they took it there.
Okay, well, for me, I agree. Hidden inventories was great. Hidden inventory was great with all the backstory, slice of life vibes. We got to meet Geto and kind of get an emotional attachment to the character, so that it's more of a tragedy, which is great. Because I don't think if we would have had just Geto's show, even if they would have just rambled off that backstory, I don't think it would have connected as well. So I'm so glad we got hidden inventory to really see the relationship that the two had, and that was like a great. And let me see, after that Choso fight is really good. It feels like so much has happened, and I'm like, okay, let me remember. Oh, I would definitely say the Gojo fight though, like right before he got sealed, just getting to see him in action finally.
Oh, that was a great
is like really high, like him holding Joko's arm like that.
That was
saying,
this is where you're moment.
What did he say? This is where you he said it to Hanami, right? Or did he say
he said it to Hanami. This is where you're weak.
Okay, that English dub might be the highlight of the season.
Okay, yeah, maybe. Let me move the desk down.
The little thirst quotes we got from the English dub.
Gojo Subway is definitely number 3. Yeah, Gojo Subway.
Gojo Subway is definitely up there for me, just because we just haven't got to really see him let loose at all. So that whole sequence of him fighting them and then doing his whatever seconds and all of that was great, amazing. And then there were so many moments.
So that's your.
That's like probably the top for me. Actually,
that was your one.
That's one. Hidden inventory is 2, okay. And then. Oh, I don't know. This last one is hard because I'm like, there was a few.
Tojo's magical girl moment, wasn't it?
That's what I'm saying. There were so many because I'm just thinking about different really people. Was. Like even when I loved when Toji showed up in Dagon's domain expansion and beat his ass. Like that whole sequence for me, like the way he came out, the way he just took her weapon, just like a ballerina. He took Maki's weapons and like sharpened them, and just all of that was just lovely. So I don't know, that's pretty high up there for me. That whole Toji sequence just being a complete beast. Like Toji's return basically for me is pretty high up there. Even like how he went out, like that whole sequence, that whole thing.
Yeah.
I mean, Toji might be up there for me. I just love that whole Toji's back kind of thing.
I mean, does Megumi even know that that's his daddy still?
No. He was just like, who is this nigga?
That's crazy.
Because he killed himself and was like, what's your name? Or something like that.
Everybody else that was there in the moment that could have told him is KO'd for the moment. We still haven't seen
the old man. Oh, and Maki still. So we ain't seen the old man if he died too.
He was crispy Cynthia. I think he's done.
Yeah.
she's a really cool dancer, bitch. I think he's gone. Maki ain't seen not a lick of her. So she might.
I do wish we would have seen like what happened, like at least if she's alive or anything. Because I even straight forgot Maki had got torched like that.
Right. Yeah.
I wish that we would have got just like something to show us like her state afterwards. But yeah, it's so hard to pick. I'm trying to go through the season and think because that Mojito fight with Todo was like up there too. But I think it's behind Toji. I think the Toji one was so shocking for me that's why it's up there. I was not expecting it. That whole thing,
like Toji versus
not in hidden inventory, but like when he came back, when that old lady summoned him, that whole way he came back, and it was so unexpected. And then like he came back, beat the old lady down, pulled up on a domain expansion, threw Megumi out the window, beat his ass real quick, and then killed himself. I mean that whole thing.
Oh my god! That. Honorable mention to the bunnies. Okay, move the death scene down again, and then put the bunnies underneath Gojo Subway. Because them bunnies, well, let me not even say them bunnies. That bunny,
that one
that's
bunny
squared up with Tojo. That one. That one.
He said the bunny that's squared up with Tojo. And it's crazy because this is the same season the Sukuna fight was in. I would have thought maybe the Sukuna moments were up there. There was just so many.
I think it's not so many feelings around it. It does cloud it a little bit because I think that not the one with him and Jogo.
Yeah, because that's the one that's like pretty high for me. Yeah, like, with him and Jogo, but it's not higher than those. But
I think it's not that higher for me because I don't really have that emotional connection to either of the combatants. Yeah, it was just more like a spectacle, like a oh my god, this is really happening.
When he used his like arrow.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
That was dope. That was dope. But I don't know if it makes my top just because I have more. I think all of my choices are based off of how.
Oh, there were so many choices.
Really feel.
Yeah. There would be so many things before that. Like I said, I don't know. Even the ponytail snatch that broke the internet.
Wow.
He said, "Wow."
Maybe we can answer this next week because now I'm realizing I left out some very important things.
It's gonna have to be a top 10. There were so many moments in this season.
That is very true. Because the ponytail.
Even
let's take out the lust that got created from that scene.
Yeah, just seeing.
I personally love the sound when he punched that man and he tumbleweed over that table. Just because he's like Mojito. It was satisfying. I've been waiting for that man to get his. So it was just like, oh, damn, that's like
because even the whole and then I wanted to put there were so many Mojito fights.
Mahito.
like
Mahito really is the MVP for this season, to be honest.
Yeah.
Gotta give it to him.
Then we had a Mekamaru fight this season too.
Mekamaru is this season too. Mekamaru
We
was
had
this season.
so many fights
I completely forgot about that fight. It did not cross my brain when I was trying to think.
That's what I was about to say, because even the Mahito, like that, when he really was showing his powers, all that whole sequence of like Mahito meat. And
I mean, that one punch when he made his hand all big, I didn't realize that he could be that strong physically. You know, it's a giant hand, but like so. But no, he knocked that robot out.
So many good Mahito moments, Todo moments. Like, oh, it's just too hard to. 3 is just like not justice. That whole Uzumaki scene when Mahito was getting absorbed, it was so pretty. So many good moments. It's really hard to just
I'm gonna need to actually like sit down for at least a day and ruminate over like what I could consider my legit top 3, besides me just speaking moments that I really liked. Because
even if we couldn't even if we couldn't do hidden inventory is even one, you would have to pick moments from hidden inventory. That would just make it even more complicated, because that I don't know. I don't even know
if hidden inventory intro. Also, I don't talk about it as much, but just like it just makes you feel so good with the colors. It's so bright. It's my favorite color,
so
blue.
Bright.
So blue.
And me and them. It's just it's so good. There's so many moments. And I remember being so shook when Toji shot Riku. Like when he showed it, like I was not in just like Gato's face. Like that shook. I remember just being so shook in that moment. I was not expecting it, because they played that music and we thought he's like, let's go home. And then pow, I'm like, I just remember being shook from that whole moment.
That's the only thing. That's the only argument that my body or my brain tells me to not continue to read the manga, is just because it does take away. Now, granted, I'll be having my moments reading the manga. I have to stop. Okay. Take a moment, get some deep breath before I go back to scrolling again. But it's something also about just watching the anime play out in those moments, because I literally
like jump. Yeah. That's what happened to me. I like literally jump. I had so many moments like
didn't we watch that episode together?
Did we watch?
Did we watch it on screen?
I think we did. I don't know if we watched it on
screen. We
didn't
have camera. We didn't have it on camera.
We just watched it together.
Sharing it. On Discord.
We just wanted to watch it together. Even like some moments where I just jumped up and was like, yes, like cheering for people. There were so many moments in this season. This is too hard. Too many good moments. So whenever we see Hood Magic again, we'll hopefully have a good answer for them.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you think about it.
Yeah, so we can have a good answer. But that's it for Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm like, oh, kind of sad. We've been talking about it for so many weeks.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I know you said you feel like it's like it was like, oh, we were here. Like, but I don't know. For me, it felt like we've been watching this for a long time. I don't know why.
It feels, because in my brain, the way I think about it, it feels like 2 seasons or something. Like,
it is 23
because
episodes.
because hidden inventory was its own thing, right? And then this kind of was his own arc. It feels like I was watching like hidden inventory like a long time ago, and I think in my brain it just feels.
Did we do a mid-season break for this too, or no?
Yeah, between hidden inventory and Shibuya, it was like a little break. Yeah.
Okay, I was about to say something had to be longer, because it just it definitely feels
it definitely feels. I mean, as far as like the show, I feel like we've been talking about Jujutsu Kaisen for a long time, but I'm like, what are we gonna talk about next? Like, there are new shows that are coming, but
there are new shows that are coming.
It usually takes us a couple of episodes to know if it's something we want to talk about, though.
Yeah.
So
I knew I wanted to talk about Heavenly Delusion almost right away, though.
Oh yeah. Like, as soon as we saw, I mean, if it's like a really good, we instantly like Heavenly. Oh, I miss Delusion.
I know.
So good. And now I've read the manga, so even when the show comes out, I'm gonna be like, I kind of know what happened. But I'm like, I don't know what's coming out next. Frieren was good, but I don't think it's something I would talk about. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, I did watch a couple more episodes, and I do like it, but I don't feel like passionate enough about it to come on and gush about it, you know, or strongly enough to like not like it to talk about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's in that weird limbo space of like, it's kind of my casual enjoyment. Like, I just want to watch it and be done.
Exactly. I don't think I would talk about it, but isn't it time for HBO or Stars or somebody to have a show we talk about? I just feel like it's time.
Who was it? One of the my colleagues in the complaints department HBO Max has a anime coming out that has a black lead.
Ooh, okay.
I need to look that up right now.
Okay.
Because I want the name. Because I told him I was going to talk to you about it, and I never did.
Because we haven't had like Game of Thrones come out. Because we've also we mostly talk about anime, but we talked about Game of Thrones when Last of Us was out. We talked about that. I was like, it feels like it's time for like Interview with the Vampire. So every once in a while, we have a live action show that we're talking about and watching. So I'm like, it just feels like it's time for us to have a show that we're watching that's not an anime that we're talking about. But I guess nothing we're waiting on is coming out until like spring, maybe.
I mean, but when we do, when the ball starts rolling, we're gonna be a lot of stuff is gonna be coming out at the same time.
I know. I'm gonna be so overwhelmed. I don't know how we're gonna handle it.
We're gonna find a way.
When does another season of Last of Us come out as well?
Can't find it.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see what we end up talking about, but we will not be back next week. So we'll be on a break next week. And then when we come back the next week, we'll see if anything has come out or anything we want to talk about that's anime related. And if not, we'll just go ahead and do the AI show. So that'll probably it'll be some other topic that comes up, or we could just do another trailer scrub. Know what we call it, trailer scrub? Yeah, that's always fun. So people have been, when's Solo Leveling? It's gonna be so much coming out.
I'm telling you, once the ball gets rolling, it's gonna be
time to really talk about all of it. Yeah, I'm just thinking like, oh, it's gonna be so bad. So if there's any anime you guys are looking forward to that's coming out, since we're done talking to Jujutsu Kaisen, definitely share. We like recommendations. We usually do check them out and see how we feel about it. So let us know in the comments and we maybe will check them out. In the meantime, we'll just be watching trailers and seeing if there's anything, I guess, that jumps out at us that we know we want to watch. And that'll kind of be it until then. But for everybody that's going out this evening, be safe. It's a lot of drunk drivers out on New Year's Eve. So be safe.
The cops is out there too.
And the popo is out too. So that's why I say I don't even want to go nowhere. The police out, people drunk. But if you are going out, and have a happy new year, I guess we'll see y'all in 2024. So hopefully in 2024, we'll have a lot of fun content and keep on being consistent with the show and, fun times. We'll see how this year goes. Anyway, y'all have a good night. Thanks for watching and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.